You know what my favorite season is? Cookie season. And today I've got a delicious recipe for you, brownie crinkle cookies. Let's make some. Aloha mai kako, my name is Relle and welcome to my kitchen where I like to share all my favorite Hawaiian and local recipes. And today we'll be making some baked goods. Not traditionally Hawaiian, but I thought it'd be fun to make, so let's get started. We'll be making some brownie crinkle cookies. So first you're gonna start with what we call the wet ingredients, although it's not truly wet per se. You're gonna start with some brown sugar. You can use light brown, golden brown, or dark brown, totally up to you. The darker it is, the more molassesy flavor. And then some white sugar. Using a mix of brown and white gives it a little bit more of a chewy consistency, like brownies. And then some unsalted butter that is softened to room temperature. If you forget to soften it, you can toss it in the microwave for a little while. Don't leave it too long because then it'll be melted and you don't want that. We're going to what we call cream them together. So you just want to get it going till it's like light and fluffy. You don't have to go as soft as like cake would be, where you want it super mixed in, but try not to make a mess. So sometimes you have hardened brown sugar and you don't really want those pieces. This one's not really breaking up. Nope, we'll see. You want to scrape down the sides. See how it's creamed together. It's kind of light, it's fluffy. That helps get everything incorporated. And then into that, we're gonna add a couple of eggs. Sorry, I'm gonna crack it into a bowl first. Reason being, if you have a junk egg, you know, it has yucky stuff in it or whatever, it's a dud. You don't want to pour it into here and then ruin your whole mix that you already made. So I just like to pour it in something else first, just to make sure it's okay. And a little bit of vanilla extract. You can use store-bought or homemade. I have a recipe for homemade and you can click up here if you want that one. And the full recipe instructions and ingredients are listed in the description box below. So if you want to check that out, you can go there. I've also got a whole blog post with all kinds of tips and tricks for cookies, so you can check that out too. And then mix that up. Now you can use a stand mixer, you can mix by hand if you want, but the handheld ones work just fine. So you're gonna set that aside, and now you're gonna mix the dry ingredients. So you're gonna get some all-purpose flour. I've never tried this with like gluten-free alternatives. You can try. If you do try it, let me know and leave a comment in the comment box. I'd like to know. And of course, these are brownie crinkle cookies, so you need some cocoa, unsweetened, perfect for baking, whatever brand you want. Some baking powder. This offers the rise in the cookies. And of course, a little bit of salt. The salt brings out the extra flavor of the sweets. And you're just gonna mix that until everything is well combined. I love cookie season. Baking, growing up with my mom, like that's one of my fondest memories. Holiday time, making cookies, giving it out to family and friends, decorating them. The house always just smelled so good. Then we're gonna take our wet ingredients back. Let's scrape down the sides again. You always want to scrape down the sides so that you can make sure everything's getting mixed very well. We're gonna put the dry ingredients into the wet. And then we're just gonna mix. Be careful, it might fly up a little. See it? While we're doing this, you'll preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're just gonna mix this until it's well combined. Don't over mix your cookies. Mixing it causes gluten. Too much gluten makes it like extra firm and chewy, and you don't want that. You want ooey gooey chewy. Give it one last scrape down because I still got some cocoa on the side. What's your favorite cookie? You know, I don't know that I can pick one. I love cookies, so that's a hard one. If you have one, let me know in the comment box below. Or if you want to see a cookie recipe that you really like, let me know too. I'll totally take ideas for new recipes to film here. All right, get off that extra batter. So some cookies, I lie, most cookies require you to chill the dough. If you don't, they spread too much. So this is one of those that will require some chill time. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some plastic wrap alternative, whatever you want. You're gonna lay it down on your work surface like so. And then we're gonna take the cookie dough and we're gonna add it right on here. If there wasn't flour on the work surface, this would stick really nicely. Normally I just stick it down, and like saran wrap or plastic wrap, it just sticks. So see how soft it is? If you were to try and bake this, the butter is so soft that the cookies would spread and be flat. And unless you're looking for thin and flat crispy cookies, then you could do that. But these are chewy and thick cookies. So once you get that, all you have to do is get it covered. So I kind of like to just form it with my hand. I kind of spread it out so that it chills a little bit quicker if you make it a little bit thinner. And then you just want to close it so that the air doesn't get in like that. And it's super soft. But we'll stick this in the fridge for a couple of hours and we'll come back. I'll show you what it looks like. We'll bake it up and I'll show you what makes this a true brownie crinkle cookie. Cookie dough should be good. I actually put it in the freezer to move it along a little quicker. Put it in the freezer for less time or in the fridge. Totally up to you. You can leave it overnight if you want. Remember how it was really like flexible earlier? Now it's good. When you make the cookies, the way you get it to crinkle is by rolling it in powdered sugar. And I'd like to mahalo our sponsors for today, Foodland Hawaii. All thoughts and opinions are my own, as always. And today we'll be using their Maika'i organic powdered sugar. You can find this in the baking aisle at your local Foodland. Foodland has all kinds of their Maika'i products, from baked goods or baking ingredients, canned goods. They've got all kinds of stuff. Check it out. I really like using their powdered sugar. It's organic, so that's awesome. We're gonna add some of it to a bowl. Then what we're gonna do is open up the cookie dough, and you're just gonna use a cookie scoop. I'll link the one I have in the description box below, so it's smaller than the regular like ice cream scoop. And then all you gotta do is just basically push it down like that. Because I made it a square, it kind of works out in the thickness. And then what you're gonna do is take the dough, it's firm, and you're gonna roll it in a ball. It will get all over your hand, that's fine. And then you toss it into the powdered sugar. So you wanna work quickly. You want the powdered sugar to nicely coat it like this. If you work slower and you start to see the powdered sugar absorb, you can just toss it back in. The powdered sugar, what happens is when you put the cookies in the oven and it expands, the powdered sugar like cracks, and that's how you get the crackling for the crinkle cookies, and it's so awesome. So we'll finish this up. I have a half cookie sheet lined with silicone mat. You can use parchment paper. You can spray it with nonstick cooking spray. The parchment paper will give it a little bit of a crisper bottom. The silicone mat offers some heat protection, so it's kind of all the way through of that chewy gooiness. So I like to use that for this particular one. All right, so I've got them rolled up, and you can see I did this pan first and then this one. I was kind of talking while I did it, so I moved a little slower than I normally do. But as it starts to cool down, not cool down, defrost, warm up the dough. As the dough starts to get warm, it lets go some of that moisture. And you see how these are not as covered. So you'll just want to re-roll them. The quicker you work, the colder the dough is, the less spread, the more chewy. Does that make sense? So the more it spreads, the warmer the dough. It'll be more crunchy, crispy. If you like that, great. But crinkle cookies generally are almost cake-like. So we'll just leave a couple less rolled so that you can see. So we'll throw this into the oven. It was 350 degrees, 15 minutes or so. Every oven is different, so you just gotta keep an eye on it. We'll put 2 pans, rotate it halfway through. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Let's get these in the oven. Alrighty, cookies are done, so let me bring them out. So I just want to say, be sure that when you bake these cookies, before you do, make sure the dough is chilled. Otherwise, it'll spread too far and you'll have really thin cookies, and that's not great. And that's how you make brownie crinkle cookies. If you like cookie recipes, check out this playlist here. And until next time, hui hou.
Thank you for watching my mommy's video.